Blake Anderson might be gone, but Butch Jones takes over a pretty good situation, and honestly, the Arkansas State Red Wolves are in pretty good hands with him running the show. I don't know what we're going to see from this team. There's talent on both sides of the ball. The offense features a ton of skilled positions that are explosive and have a lot of potential, but it's just a matter of, can the transition to Jones be a relatively seamless one from Anderson, or will they need time to get things going? The Sun Belt is as competitive as it's ever been, so there's a lot of pressure on Jones to win right away. At number 10, safety Antonio Fletcher. The defense is going to be somewhat, or a group that everyone watches. The secondary appears to be just fine, and Fletcher's just one of the guys that we'll talk about today. Number 9 is center Jacob Still, 47 games of experience, back for another year, which is insane. That's a ton of experience to have at center, and with a quarterback battle once again, it's going to be good to have stability up front. Number 8, running back Lincoln Paré, 450 yards on 6.3 yards per carry, and a good backup to have. Another guy that's going to add some depth to that position. Number 7, quarterback Sammy Johnson, 2 picks last year, another secondary player that's going to make life easy for this defense, get the ball back to the offense if need be. Number 6, the quarterbacks Lane Hatcher and James Blackman. Hatcher, of course, was, in my opinion, the better quarterback between him and Logan Bonner, and his reward for Bonner transferring is that he has to beat out the former Florida State transfer James Blackman. Now, Blackman struggled at Florida State with consistency, but he also took a pounding. So he's hoping that his offensive line play is a little bit more improved than what he experienced with the Seminoles, because his body, I don't know how much more it can take. Hatcher, I really hope that he gets time to show what he can do as a starter, because he's a very talented player that's always been in a quarterback battle, essentially always been in a 2-quarterback system, and I don't know what quarterbacks are going to thrive when they're constantly having to come out of the game and they never actually get a chance to show what they can do in a full game. So if it's Blackman is going to play, then I don't know. We'll see. I just really hope that Hatcher gets a chance to show what he can do as the full-time starter. Number 5, defensive end T.W. Ayers. Honor mention Sunbelt last year, 6.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. A guy that's going to be disruptive on the edge, and that's going to help the secondary out, even though the secondary is super talented. Doesn't necessarily need a ton of help, but they're not going to complain when Ayers is making plays in the opposing backfield. Number 4, safety Ellery Alexander, another secondary player that we will talk about. 54 tackles, 4.5 for loss. This is one of the better secondaries in the entire conference. It probably won't rival like a Coastal Carolinas, but it's definitely one that's going to be up there for sure. Number 3, running back Marcel Murray. Didn't have a huge year in 2020, but he's a guy who's proven that he can be a great runner for this offense and balance out the attack for the Red Wolves. And then Hatcher and Blackman have the benefit of throwing to Dahu Green, a guy who is a deep threat, 542 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. Drops were a concern at times, so that's something that we'll have to watch. But, man, this is a guy who has big playability. Another guy who has big playability, Corey Rucker, 453 yards and 5 touchdowns. So you need guys to go deep. Rucker and Green are your guys. And Butch Jones has an offense that will be fun to watch, a secondary that can stop teams. It's just a matter of the pieces in between and whether or not this will be a smooth transition to the Butch Jones era.